In this video, we're trying to make a comeback from last week's debacle at Big Willow by putting down a good result at Suzuka. Welcome to the channel. This is Geauxgreddy, your 2018-2019 Senla SCCA F-Street Autocross Champion and Sim Racer. If you like what you see, hit like. If you really like what you see, hit the subscribe so you don't miss any of the action. And you join me now on the qualifying lap. My first qualifying lap. Well, about to be my first qualifying lap. And if you look there down the left side, you will see I'm on racing medium instead of soft. Well, that's not going to work. So let's join us on a actual hot lap with racing soft tires like I should have been on from the beginning, which I failed to put on because my head was far up my derriere at the start of that race. So here we come around the first corner trying to trail brake and come back in on that green turf on the right side. Almost made it. Get over here to the left on that apex nicely, but overshoot the next part of the S curves. But make it back nicely into the next section, getting on that curb side there that I needed to get onto. Keep it in nice and tight through there. Good autocross line through that section. And drop it down a gear, back up into fourth, and through this section at full throttle. Want to drop the anchor at about the 50 board right here, which has been destroyed by somebody. Do so, use up all the track, drop the anchor again. Wanted that up around 71 miles an hour through that corner. A little slow, so it's going to cost me some time through there. Again, drop the anchor there at the end of that curbing on the right hand side. Try and late apex the hairpin. Almost pull it off. It's a little, just a tiny bit late on the braking. Pass up old Caster Pollux there. He kindly moves over to the side, let me through on the fast lap. Appreciate that, Caster. So heading into Spoon. Try and get onto the curb again on the left hand side and back on the gas, full throttle, back down the brake, trying to get back to the inside there. Don't want to be late on that. Just a little bit late getting back over there, and so I can apply the full throttle at the right amount of time. Very difficult corner to get right as Spoon. So head into 130R. We're going to let off here at about the 50 board. Downshift. Could have carried more speed through that section of the track. Should have dropped the anchor just a little bit earlier there so I could clip a little more of this chicane at the Casio Triangle. Didn't quite pull it off. But that's all right. Not a terrible time. I'm going to end up with a 201.876 in ninth position to start. Oh yes, thank you, Opera Lady. It is time to rumble. It is time to get it on at Suzuka. Time to improve on last week's just awful results. So in first, we have Captain Awful in first at a 2.763. In second, Carlos Domingo 787 with a 2.930. Garcia Pham in third, 19th ranked in the lobby, the 201.333. Big Drifter in at fourth with a 201.433. And then we got Revo Nut in fifth in the beautiful liveried Porsche with a 201.438. In sixth, we got Patho 90 with a 201.506. In seventh, Mikhail 24RD, top ranked guy in the lobby. In eighth, Caster 11 Pollux with a 201.7. And ninth, myself, Geauxgreddy with a 201.876. In 10th, Mobile Masher. Look at that in the 4GT with a 202.063. And in 11th, Baron Blitz Red in the Citroen. You don't see many of those folks. 202 with a 288 there. And DA 1976 and in 12th, the 202.401. Captain Gunther in 13th with a 202.408. Tight grid so far. In 14th, Merc Dweller. Wonder if he's related to Captain Awful. Anyway, in 15th, Tacome 08. Not really sure how that's supposed to go, but he's in 15th. 16th, we got Nos GT. In 7th, Zyvco or something like that. In 18th, MGCF 116410. What a name. And we had 20th drop out because when he saw Geauxgreddy up there, he got scared. Or not. Who knows? Oh, man. So, got quite a few friends in the lobby. Got Revo Nut out front there. We got DA 1976 behind me. Castor Pollux, raced with him. He's a good, clean racer. Carlos Domingo, raced with him before. Also a good guy out there on the track. So, hopefully we have more good door-to-door action in the race. So, as we start heading towards turn 1, I came out of the chicane to start with. So, I'm just happy I didn't bin it there, as I almost bottled it right there, but somehow managed to stay on the track. Come out of turn, I guess that would be 3, rather well, heading towards the Dunlop curve. I believe that is what it's called up here after the S's. Of course, going through the S's, you want to nail those apexes, folks. You stay on the apexes and you don't push the car too hard and you won't destroy the tires. So heading into Dunlop, backing off the throttle just a little bit, upshifting back into 4th. Probably should have just kept it in 3rd right there, but didn't do it. About 1.9 seconds behind Castor Pollux and that Viper. Again, another car you probably don't see enough in the game. Wish you could see more of it. Enjoy the Viper. As someone picks up a penalty, it is Carlos Domingo. Man, that is not good. Carlos was in P2 as I give him a little love tap from the rear. Pardon myself there, Carlos. Didn't mean to smack you from behind there, fella. But he was heading a little slower through the hairpin than I expected him to. Again, not on purpose. No harm, no foul. Actually, I probably helped him out a little bit right there. He's got a 1-second penalty that he's going to have to serve up here, as we have a pair of twins and Chevy Corvettes up in front of him. Oh, and Castor Pollux and him get into it. Slow down. I end up bumping into Carlos Domingo again. Again, apologies. For whatever reason, I thought I had to drive around him, even though he was ghosted. So, probably messed up Castor a little bit there in the Viper. Again, apologies to you. He runs a little wide and hits me as he runs wide, which gives me a 1-second penalty because he went off course. Interesting. I'm not exactly sure how GT Sport calculates that in their algorithms, but however, it worked. And so I got a penalty. So heading down the back straight, as Suzuka calls it, towards turn 1. And you just want to trail brake right through here. You want to just kind of let it ease to the outside and then get back on the gas as you're coming out the other side. And then you got to start looking for the apexes. And I'm a little wide on the first one, but I do get back on time for the second. So that is good. If you are late on the apexes through the S's, it is going to eat your tires. So Captain Awful right here, who was our pole sitter, is chewing through tires like a madman, I imagine. And he has a 3-second penalty. So I imagine right about now he's really not feeling too good about his race. I know I wouldn't be. If I finished pole and then I was back in 6th battling with Geauxgreddy, I would be pretty upset with myself. So I'm trying to give him a little space, a little elbow room. I'm just going to let myself pass him in the penalty zone because I don't want to test his temperament, shall we say. Plus, after I'm done dealing with him, I got another Corvette in front of him to try and figure out how to get around. So far happy with my driving. I did get that 1-second penalty, but I'm not being malicious out here on the course. I am just, trying to get into some slipstreams and maybe make a move where it presents itself, but not really trying to force anything. As Garcia Pham goes wide, gets into the gravel, gives me the opportunity to pass him up, but unfortunately, the penalty kicks in and I drop back that second, and that second loses me 3 positions and 4 positions. A 1-second penalty on lap 2 cost me 4 positions. So there you go, GT Sport. Good job on slapping me with that 1-second penalty that really honestly did not belong to me. As Carlos Domingo gets loose, coming out of Cassio's triangle, and then I get loose coming out of Cassio's triangle. I get his slipstream. I'm picking up speed on him, so I go to the outside. He takes the nice defensive line there on the inside. We go side by side through corner one, folks. I'm going to tell you something. This is not something you see often in a B lobby, is two guys racing side by side, not sending each other off the track. So hats off to you, Mr. Carlos Domingo. Absolutely incredible clean racing going through turn one. I thoroughly appreciate it. Gets into my side a little bit there, heading into the Dunlop curve, but wasn't enough to unsettle me. So because of the fantastic clean racing through corner one, I am just going to totally forgive that. Not that it matters, but like he cares. But, you know, those are the corners I enjoy. Win or lose that battle, this is why I play GT Sport, is moments when you're getting in door-to-door battles with folks on the track, and you're not trying to murder each other. You're just trying to make a move on the other guy and see if you can make it stick. And, you know, maybe take that position. I've lost positions and I have gained positions, and it's nothing to get angry over. It just part of the game. You know, some guys put in more practice time than you. Some guys have a better car than you. Sometimes they're better on tire wear. Whatever the reason may be. No reason to get upset about getting past. Just put your head down and try and catch back up to them and see if you can get them on the next corner, the next lap, the next 2 laps, whatever it might be. So heading towards 130 hour, Carlos again running me down in the BMW, putting the pressure on the Lexus. And Carlos pulled second. I mean, he qualified second, rather. Not pulled second. He qualified second. So he's got some pace under his belt. He knows how to run this track. So definitely not the last I'm going to see of Carlos Domingo as we head into lap 4. Looking down at my tires on the left-hand bottom side, you will see they are looking pretty good on lap 4. I'm very, very pleased with that. Unlike Big Willow, I put some practice time in. I jumped in a lobby with Revo Nut and DJ Clean, and we put down some practice laps, and that is paying off as I am not destroying my tires, and I'm keeping pace with the top 5, and that's all I want to do. I just want to keep pace somewhere in that top 10. Of course, I would like to be out front, but that rarely ever happens. So, you know, top 5 place or a podium for me is as good as a win. Of course, I always press for the win, but that doesn't mean I'll ever get it. Go a little slow there through that tight right-hander, heading towards the hairpin, and drop the anchor, trying to keep Carlos off my butt. He just keeps reeling me back in. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get in a Baron Blitz red slipstream, but he's a 1.5 seconds in front of me. Since I served that penalty, I've not been able to catch back up to him. Baron Blitz, I don't remember which tires he was on, but I was hoping he was on softs and that I would start reeling him in here around lap 5, unless, of course, he went into the pits. That was my thought process. I'm like, certainly this dude has got to start wearing those tires now, because everything I heard is the Citroen is terrible on tires. So I'm just waiting for him to just basically fall off the face of the earth any minute now. As Carlos goes to the outside of me on 130R, I take that inside line, let it slide out wide. Carlos must have backed out just a little bit. Probably smart play on his part. Get a good run through the chicane. A little loose when I got on the gas there. I wish I hadn't quite cranked it like I did. As Baron goes in the pits, and he was indeed running on the medium tires. So Carlos still on the rear end of Geauxgreddy heading into turn 1, trying to hold him off so I can get into the pits before him on lap 5. So my game plan is this: 5 laps on racing mediums, coming in pit, no fuel, put on racing softs for the final 4 laps, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I want to be on racing softs. So I felt that this was the strategy I wanted to go with after my practice race, and I saw how much tread I had left after 5. So I went into a lobby the next morning and tried on some softs, and, you know, put enough laps in where my tank was half full, and then I threw the softs on. I found I could really make good lap times and make them last. As I go too wide through that right-hander trying to hold off Carlos, his pressure held up, folks. I don't often make mistakes under pressure, but Carlos absolutely pressured me to that. He was on my bumper for a solid lap and 3/4, and I let it get to me, I have to admit, and I went wide through that corner. So shame on me. I should have just stuck it on the apex and made him do something special. Instead, I tried to brake late and break that slipstream. So again, when you're racing, try not to worry about the rear view too much. Obviously, you're going to want to take a defensive line whenever necessary. In this particular situation, I didn't try to go defensive. I just broke too late. So that ended up costing me, where I just stayed on my apex and he made a clean pass through me here, for instance, on 130R. Then I could have just jumped back in the slipstream and, you know, use that to my advantage. So anyway, trying to catch back up to him through Cassio's triangle as we both head into the pits. He is 1.5 seconds in front of me, and Mobile Master's about 3/4 of a second behind me. So I come in on mediums. Carlos comes in on soft. So he was on racing soft. So I was able to hang on mediums with Carlos when he was on softs. Now, granted, you know, he got that penalty that pulled him back, but you know, not bad. So I do the overcut. So let's see how we come out of the pits. Carlos in front of me right there, looking good. I'm looking on the map. I'm seeing some cars coming. Here's Baron Blitz red, and he just slides in front of me. If I hadn't made that mistake in that right-hander and came out in front of Carlos, I would be sitting in 4th right now in front of Baron Blitz. Now, I'm on the soft tires, so I know that I'm going to be faster through here. I'm not only on soft tires, I'm on 1 lap less soft tires, which with 15 times tire wear means I'm on 15 laps less wasted tires, softs at that, as we all come up on patch 060. He seems to be struggling in the WRX. I'm not sure if he tried for the no stopper or what's going on with him, but he is just all over the place as I come down through that right-hander, and I'm all over the rear end of Baron Blitz red. So I'm all up the backside of Baron, and we're both up the backside of patch 090. Unfortunately, Baron took the corner not quite as quickly as I did, so I had to back off and really mash on the brake pedal there, and that cost me a little time coming on the corner. But I'm still within 8/10, so I'm still within the slipstream, trying to catch back up to these guys. As we come through Spoon, get to that inside curbing like I need to. Didn't quite carry as much speed as I should have, but that's okay. I'm not pressing it too hard. I'm on these softs, and I want to save them. I don't want to just eat them up completely, and you know, I don't have the best car control in this game ever. I've only been playing since September, so just trying to stay with these guys through here. You know, I want to drop the anchor here around the 100 board. I just want to keep pulling in tighter and tighter and applying more and more pressure. So coming out of Cassio's triangle, jumping that slipstream, and man, I am right there in that Citroen's draft, and I'm going to make the move to the outside. He goes defensive on the inside, which is what he should do. Absolutely a perfect move by him. But I'm going to see if I can't hang it out on the outside with those soft tires. Baron Blitz does a fantastic job of coming through that corner and just carrying a little more speed than me. Pops out the other side in first. Excellent wheel work by him through there. So again, only a half second back, still in the slipstream, both behind patch 090. Both of us looking to probably pick up a position as he is just kind of getting squirrely everywhere. So here I get a really good run on Baron out of this corner. I mean really good. I'm picking up, instead of going defensive, he stays left. So I go to the inside, stomp on the brake, and he swerves down to the inside, makes contact with me, and flies off in the sand pit. Now, I know that may look like an aggressive move for me, but I've looked at the replay. I just don't think he saw me there on the inside, because he dove down into that corner pretty early, and I was just kind of sitting there. I hadn't even started my turn in yet. And so that really stinks, because I thought Baron was running a really good race up to that point. I felt bad for him. I really did. But again, I wasn't even assigned a penalty. In this game, it's like super hypersensitive to assigning penalties. So, anyways, Baron, apologies I didn't mean for that to happen. I just had a good run on doing that current turn, and I thought maybe I could do the 2 inside move through that section and come out the other side on top. So, yeah. Sorry about that. That sucks. So, again, heading down towards 130R, towards Cassio's Triangle. I'm in 5th behind Patch 090, and he loses it. So there I am. Now I'm in 4th on lap 7. What? I started in 9th up to 4th. This isn't even a good track for me in the Lexus. This is like a 86 Alfa Romeo Porsche kind of track. And I've moved up to 4th. Revo Nut, look at him. He's up there in 1st. Practiced with him the other night. He is just, he started off in 5th. Just, laying down some fast, clean laps, I guess. I'm 12 seconds behind him. So, during the course of the race, I've probably lost, I would say 8 seconds to him. I probably started 4 seconds behind him in the race. Well, maybe not 4 seconds. I was only 4 positions back. I was probably 4 seconds out of the lead, but not 4 seconds away from Revo Nut. So Revo's done an outstanding job to move up into 1st place. Look, Carlos Domingo, who I was battling with earlier, he's sitting there in 3rd. Now, think of that. If I had come out in the pits in front of Carlos, I would be sitting in 3rd right now with 6 seconds between me and Path. And instead, I'm in 4th, which is not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. But just, again, one mistake. So one mistake cost me the pit time between me and Carlos. And he may have passed me. And there's no telling. For certain, the mistake didn't help. I had the 1 second penalty that dropped me back, what was that, 4 positions earlier? I could possibly be sitting in position 2. Possibly. Maybe not. Maybe I wouldn't be up there with Revo, but you never know. Anyway, so again, driving those clean laps, not getting those penalties, it really makes up for even being the fastest person out on the course. If you look on the list, you don't even see the pole position sitter anywhere in the top 8. Nowhere to be seen, which means he's not running those clean laps. You got to be able to set those clean laps. It's not enough just to be fast. So, heading into the final lap, sitting in 4th place, feeling really good about this race. Really pumped right about now. Did not have a good week last week, but realized my problem was I put in no practice. You put in no practice, you're not going to get good results. Put in, I'm not talking hours upon hours of practice. I'm talking like an hour and a half of goofing around with a couple dudes that were pretty cool to race on the course with. Was more than enough time to be able to start to set consistent laps. Again, I am not breaking any records with 202s and 204s and whatnot. Not even close. But the key is consistency and cleanliness. It is. My penalty hurt me. I'm lucky I didn't get a penalty with the Citroen. Very lucky. Probably could have approached that corner a little differently as well, but didn't. So anyway, so here I sit in 4th place. Heading towards Spoon all by my lonesome without nobody. That's right. Geauxgreddy firmly in 4th place. Got a 4-second gap to 5th with Path 090, who seems to be holding off Mobile Master, although he had this little struggle there for a little while. I'm not really sure what happened with Path 090 right through there. Carlos Domingo must have gotten a penalty as I started to pick up on him rather quickly here down the main straight towards 130R. And so I pulled him with 2.5 seconds here of Domingo. Keep reeling him in, 2.4. Heading into Cassio's Triangle. I take it okay. Could have cut more of that first part of the curbing off, but that's all right. Get within 2.2, 2.1. I'm going to finish within 2 seconds of 3rd place. Not too shabby. So, happy with those results. Revo Nut in 1st. Mikhail 24RD in 2nd. And Carlos Domingo in 3rd. Me in 4th. Patho 90 in 5th. Mobile Master in 6th. Mark Dweller in 7th. Big Drifter 210 in 8th. Baron Blitz Red in 9th in the Citroen. NOS GT in 10th. DA 1976 came through in 11th. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, give it a look. DA does a lot of live streaming of our BS events, I guess you call them. BS. It sounds like we're in here bullshitting, but no. Tacoma 08 in 9th, and the rest of the gang. So there we are in 4th place. Pretty happy with that. Picked up 5 positions. Got my highest point total of the season with 930. Pretty happy with that coming off last week's results. So good race. Enjoyed it. Good camaraderie out there on the track. I thought everyone raced hard, pretty clean. No complaints from me. Not sure what happened with everybody else. Hope y'all had a clean race as well. So that is it from Suzuka. P9 to P4. Pretty happy about that. So hope you come and join us again in one of these next live events or on one of my replays. Like I said, if you enjoyed the race, hit like. If you really enjoyed it, hit subscribe and come and check it out again. All right, for myself, Geauxgreddy. Y'all have a great evening.